Hello dear students, I'm Rajveer, your German language teacher, and in today's video I'm going to cover all of the German grammar for A1 level, and we can say for the basic beginners we are going to cover all of the German grammar according to A1 level also. Okay, so let's start. So you know that first we start with verb conjugation. So what is exactly verb conjugation? In German we say it Verb Konjugation. So what is exactly verb conjugation? In German, you know that every verb is having en endings like kommen, gehen, spielen. So all these verbs are having en ending in German language. You need to remove the en ending, and according to their subjects, you need to add on the new ending. So what subjects we are having? Ich, I, du, you. But which one? Informal. Capital Z, it means you. Formal. Ihr means you all. Er, sie, and es. He, she, and it. For the plural subject, we are having wir, it means we. And for the they, we are having sie, it means they. So, what ending will come with ish, e ending, do, st ending, formal u, en ending, for the ihr, t ending, for third person, t ending, and for the plural, en ending. How we will do now the verb conjugation? We will remove the en ending. So here, common verb. So we remove the en ending ish with ish, e ending. So ish, comma, du kommst. Formal u, if we remove en ending and according to the subject we add on the ending, then same thing will come out. Common. Next one, compt. For the third person also compt, and for the plural it will come common. Sometimes it can also happen that there is one subject. If subject is singular, then also you have to add the t ending, and subject is plural, then you have to add en ending, because you know that only these cannot be only subject. Some other things can be also subject, maybe a person, maybe a thing, plural or singular. So in this case, you will add on the singular t ending, and for the plural, en ending. Clear? In the next one, sometimes students are confused with they for formal you, she, and they. So you know that she will be never ever confusing thing, because always it will come with t ending. Like if I give you example, sie kommen aus Indien. Sie kommt aus Indian. So here you can see Z is having T ending and one Z is having EN ending. So this Z is 100% clearly, it is all about related to she. Okay, so this is clear. So this always you need to make the sentences in this way only. Like you can make sentence: Ich komme aus Indien. Du kommst aus Indien. You come from India. Sie kommen aus Indien. You come from India. Formal. Ihr kommt aus Indien. You all come from India. Er kommt aus Indien. He comes from India. Sie kommt aus Indien. She comes from India. Es kommt aus Indien. It comes from India. Wir kommen aus Indien. We come from India. Sie kommen aus Indien. They come from India. Next, we are moving to the next topic. That is Ja, Nein, Fragen. So what is exactly Ja, Nein, Fragen? If you translate it in English, it means yes and no question. So in the yes and no question, you need to put the verb position first. Then it will be subject, object, and remaining things also you can add on. Question mark. An answer will be in positive. Yeah, subject, verb, object, or remaining things also. And in the negative will be nine, subject, verb, and object. How? Comes do. This is the verb. And the conjugation, there will be no changes now in the conjugation. It doesn't matter you are a beginner, advanced level student, and whatever. So comes do aus Indian. So the reply will be positive and negative also. Yeah, ich komme aus Indian. Negative can be nine. Ich komme. For the negative, we are having nest and kind also. Ich komme nicht aus Indien. I don't come from India. In this sentence, you can see according to do st ending and according to ish subject e ending. So there is no changes in the verb conjugation. Sometimes it can be like this. If any question is negative, kommst du nicht aus Indien? This is a negative question because of nist. So don't you come from India? Then you can reply like this. Doc. And in the like negative question but positive answer is there. So you can reply Doc. Ich komme aus Indien. If you know that you are learning German language and someone is saying to you, Lernst du nicht Deutsch? But you can reply Doc. Ich lerne Deutsch. Next topic is trainbare Verben. Trainbare Verben means separable verbs. So what these separable verbs? Actually in German there are some prefix. What you need to do with these prefix? They will come always with the verb and you need to separate them from the verb, from the starting of the verb, and you will put them at the end of sentence. That is very simple. So which prefix you can see? Ab, an, auf, zu, mit, here, ein, for. Okay, so these kind of prefix you can see at the starting of the sentence. Zuruk. Okay, so these kind of prefix you can see at the starting. How? This is uncommon verb. You know that earlier in the verb conjugation we have seen one verb common, but now it has un also at the starting. So un is also our prefix. So what we need to do, the conjugation will be exactly same. There will be no changes in the conjugation. How? If I want to say I will arrive at this time, this means arrive. So ich komme um 3 Uhr and un will go at the end of sentence. Okay, so it is clear. Un is coming at the end of sentence. Always remember, if you are making question, then also prefix will go at the end of sentence. How? Kommst du 3 Uhr an? So will you come? Will you arrive at 3 o'clock? So this is very simple topic. You need to just separate the prefix and put at the end of sentence. There will be no changes in the verb conjugation. Now we will see modal verben. So modal verben means modal verbs. As you know that this is very important topic. We are having some modal verbs in German. Müssten, können, dürfen, wollen. Next, mögen, sollen, müssen. Okay, so we are having these modal verbs müssten, können, dürfen, wollen, mögen, sollen and müssen. We are writing here the subjects. Ich, 1 minute. We are writing here the subjects. Ich means I. So ich conjugation will be muss, soll, mag, will, darf, kann, and müsste. As you can see here, all these modal verbs are having irregular conjugation. It means in the verb conjugation we have learned first that every verb is having e ending. Oh, sorry, every time we were doing the conjugation, then we were adding e ending. But in all these modal verbs, you are not seeing any e ending rather than this Mostyn modal verb only. So it means you have to mug up the conjugation with modal verbs. After that, do. You know that what you need to do, you have to remember the first ish conjugation, and after that you can immediately add on the st ending. St ending from the earlier verb conjugation also you remember now. So we were using st ending, so maxed, willst, darfst, kannst, and müsstest. Okay, and for the third person means like he, she, it. Er, Z, and S. For the third person ish concept, whatever we have used for the ish, that will come exactly same. Like the first, this column will come exactly same here also for the third person. Okay, so this is very simple now. Next is like other subjects also we are having plural. You know that for the plural subject, for her, for the formal you also. So whatever ending we were filling earlier, the same ending you will fill now also. Now we will see the sentence structure. How will be the sentence structure? So subject, then modal verb. Remember that this time we are going to conjugate the modal verb, not the main verb. Modal verb, object, or better you can say remaining things, whatever remaining things are there. It is related to a person, it is related to a thing, it is related to adjective, adverb, time, persons, things, whatever will be there. And main verb will be always at the end of sentence, and it will be without conjugation. That is very important point here. So modal verb you need to conjugate, and main verb will be at the end of sentence without conjugation. And what is the meaning of this without conjugation? It means like the verb, in the verb conjugation we have seen that all of the German verbs come always with en ending. So you have to take care of the en ending. Now see some examples. And you know that if you are making the yes and no question, then modal verb will come at the first position, then subject, then object, and still main verb will be at the end of sentence. We are seeing some examples. Du, ich, kann sehr gut schwimmen. Here you can see ish is subject here, and according to the ish, we have used here Kyonen modal verb. So can came, and other further information we have added here, and at the end we have added schwimmen. So ich kann sehr gut schwimmen. I can swim very good. And if we want to make it question also, then it will be verb position will come first, modal verb, and do subject. So accordingly st ending. So kannst du sehr gut schwimmen. So here you can see the conjugation exactly same conjugation is there, but the modal verb's position is first, and the main verb is at the end of sentence without conjugation. Okay, so that is very important here, question mark also. Now if we see the example for the question, w question, wann is a question word, Kyonen modal verb, and subject is wir, so that's why the entire modal verb. Wann können wir uns treffen? Treffen is main verb. So in modal verbs case, you can see whatever whatever kind of sentence is there, you are putting main verb at the end of sentence without conjugation. So please always keep in your mind, whenever you are making sentences with modal verbs, main verb will be always at the end of sentence. It doesn't matter it is yes and no question, normal sentence, or w question sentence also. Okay, so next topic we are moving to articles. Articles in German language. As you know that in Hindi or English language, articles in German language. As you know that in English language, all the human beings will be male, female, and animals also. But other things, rather than these other things will be always neutral. Non-living things will be always neutral. But in German, exactly same like Hindi, it is not the same like English. So in German, anything can be male, female, or neutral. So how? First, you know that there is nominative case. In the nominative case, we are focused on subject, masculine, feminine, neutral, and plural. So for the definite article, if anything is masculine, then we will use there. For the feminine, we will use the. For the neutral, we will use das, and for the plural, we will use the. And all of the translation of all these articles will be the. For the indefinite article, it will be eine, ein, and for the plural, nothing. And the translation of all these indefinite article will be a and an. Negative will be kein, keine, kein, and for the plural, keine. And it is negative. Always remember in German, anything can be male, anything can be female, anything can be neutral also. Let's see some examples. And what is the meaning of nominative? Nominative means we are always focused on the part of subject only. Here you see, their apple, their apple is teuer. The apple is expensive. You know that this is masculine, so that's why we have used here the their article, the apple. Next one is das. This is apple is masculine. If I want to say, we will be at the portion of masculine. If I want to say that is this a apple, an apple, so we have to use ein, because you know that in the masculine part it is written ein. So is das ein apple? Is this an apple? If we want to use the negative, nine. Das ist, das means this and that. Das ist, still we are on the masculine portion, so kein will come for the masculine in nominative. So nine, das ist kein Apfel. So this is not an apple. Okay, so you got it. Always remember, accordingly you will change the articles also. Next one, we are going to the next case also, accusative. Accusative means, I will tell you, there will change in then, ein will change in einen, and kein will change in keinen. And all other articles will be exactly same like nominative. But what is exactly accusative? So accusative means your focus will be now on the object portion. There should be only one object. It can be related to a person or it can be related to a thing. Whatever the object is there, it is related to a person, it is related to a thing. There should be only one object. Then you have to use accusative. So here we will see the same example. Ich kaufe. So till here you can see this is ich is subject, kaufen is verb, and now we want to write here the apple. As you know that there is only one object, so it means condition is fulfilled that this is related to our one object. So apple is having masculine article, but we are not in nominative case because we are not focused on subject, we are focused on object. So for the accusative case we will see, for the definite article we have to use then. So ich kaufe then apple. If I want to write negative, ich kaufe, ich kaufe. Okay, for the negative, for the positive also, ich kaufe einen Apfel. Ich kaufe einen Apfel. कोई नहीं आ जाओ. So ich kaufe den Apfel, I buy the apple, and ich kaufe einen Apfel, I buy an apple. And for the negative, ich kaufe keinen Apfel. Okay. So here you can see for the masculine portion and for the definite article, ich kaufe den Apfel. For the indefinite article, ich kaufe einen Apfel. And for the negative one, ich kaufe keinen Apfel. Why we have used here accusative? Because we were focused on the object portion. And for the object and the article of that apple is masculine. So that's why we have taken all of the articles, whether it is definite, indefinite, or negative, also from the masculine portion only. Okay. Now, possessive pronomen. Possessive pronouns in German. So, you know that we have learned ich, I, du, you. But which one? Informal. Capital Z, you, and formal. Ihr means you all. Er, Z, and S. Er means he, Z means she, S means it. Wir means we. Again, Z, it means they. For the possessive pronoun ish, we will use mine. For the du, thine. For Z, ihr. For ihr, euer. Mine means my. Thine means your. Ihr means your. But which one? This is informal. This is formal. Euer means also your, but for plural. Sein. Sein means his. Ihr means her. Sein means its. Unser. Unser means our. And ihr means their. So in this way, these will be the possessive pronouns. Next one for the nominative, you know that these possessive pronouns always have ending also. So for the nominative case, masculine, feminine, neutral, and plural. For the accusative case, for the nominative, no ending, e ending, no ending, e ending. For the accusative case, en ending and other will be exactly same. And for the dative case, em, er, em, and en. What is exactly dative case? Dative means there will be two objects in the sentences. The person related object will be in dative and the thing related object will be in accusative. So this is accusative and dative. We will see it later in detail. So accusative, nominative, and dative. So first we will see the endings. You know that in German language we are having two ways to find out which case is going on. First is related to object. Through object we can identify if one object is there, then this is accusative. If two objects are there, this is dative. But in German language there are some prepositions like accusative preposition and dative preposition. These are fixed accusative and dative prepositions. According to them also we can identify that this which case is going on, accusative or dative or genitive also. Genitive prepositions are also there, but we are not focusing on genitive. So here you can see Here I'm writing the dative articles also for the masculine, feminine, neutral, and plural. There will change in them, thee will change in there, and thus will change in them, and for the plural, then. Always remember all the articles changed here for from the nominative, einem and nothing. For the negative, you need to add on keinem, keiner, keinem, and for the plural, keinen. Okay, so these articles are related to which case? Dative. And what is dative? We are having two objects, one is related to person, one is related to thing. So then we will use dative, and we are having some prepositions also. Fixed preposition some accusative and fixed preposition some dative. If there are fixed preposition accusative, then we have to use the accusative ending and the accusative articles also. And we are having fixed dative prepositions, then dative endings we have to use, and dative these articles also we have to use. Now we will see some examples. You can see it properly and take the screenshot. Okay, so here I am considering, okay, here I am taking für preposition, and that is accusative, that is fixed accusative preposition. Für mein Vater. This is very simple. Für mein Vater. Mine anyone can add here. But you know that this is an accusative and this noun is masculine. So in the accusative, what ending will come? En. Für meinen Vater. Für Hund. So article will be, if I want to say for the dog. So what will come? Because you know that Hund is masculine. So in the masculine accusative, earlier also we have seen, in the last examples we have seen articles. So für, then Hund. Okay. And now we will see the example for dative. Mit mine we can easily fill. Vater is having masculine article. So you know that mit is fixed dative preposition. So in the dative masculine is coming, then em ending. So mit meinem Vater. And if mit mine mutter is feminine. So what will come in the mutter? Feminine, and dative case is going on minor. And if I want to say with the dog, so mit Hund. Hund is having masculine article, and in the dative we have seen masculine article. For the masculine we use them. So met them Hund. So accordingly you can add on the endings in possessive pronouns and you can use them accordingly. You know that we are having in German language objects also, and these objects are relevant to accusative and dative. So accusative and dative. Sometimes students are very confused that when to use accusative and when to use dative. We have seen that. And now mesh and mere. So you know that both of the things are having same meaning. Mesh and mere both are having the same meaning. Next one, dish and dear are also having the same meaning, you, but informal. Next one, z and ihnen, that is also the same meaning, you, but formal. Next one, euch, it means you all. Next one, for the female, for the male person, ihn, for him, and for the male person here, him, in dative, ihm. For the female person, she, it will be, for her, it will be Z, and here it will be E her. Next one, S for its, and eam in dative. Next one for wear, uns, us, and here also uns. For them, it will be Z only, and here it will be small letter enen. Please take care of this. Okay, so these are accusative and dative objects. These are not subjects related, these are objects. So you know that students are confused. Sir, we are having one me in English language, but in German we are having two, mich and mir. So how to use them? Actually, it depends on the cases and depends on the preposition also. Earlier also we have discussed, if one object is there, then it will be accusative. If two objects are there, then it will be dative. We are having prepositions divided in accusative, divided in dative also. So what you need to do, first we will see example through one object and two objects. So if I'm saying ish roofer Morgan un, so it means I will call you, or I will call him tomorrow. So you know that there is only one object missing, because I will call him tomorrow, so him is object. So which case will be there? Accusative only. So we will not use this him, we will use this one, because accusative one object is there. So ich rufe ihn morgen an, one object. Next one, ich schicke. Here we are having two objects. You know that we will send him. So there is one object, and we will send him what? Novel. So this is second object. This is related to a thing, and this is related to a person. So whatever object is related to a person, that will be in dative. So first we will settle down the dative. So in the dative you can see, for the him we have used here im. So ishika im, and Roman is having masculine article. If I want to add here a novels, then it will be einen Roman. So because of this, is Shika im dative, and einen Roman because of masculine and en ending. Perfect tense. So you know that in German language we are having perfect tense. So perfect mein what you need to do? We are having regular verb and irregular. Same like in English also, regular, irregular. If we are making the regulars perfect, then it will be always gay and t ending. For the irregular, gay and en ending at the end of sentence. How? Lennon gelernt. Kochen gekocht. Okay, like this. And in the irregular, the stem in the middle of verb, it will be entirely changed. Essen gegessen. Expression gesprochen. So as you can see here, this stem in the middle has totally changed. Okay, how we will make the sentence structure? Sentence structure will be subject, then you need to do the haben conjugation or sein conjugation. Haben conjugation if there is no movement in the verb, and sein conjugation if movement is there in the verb, then object or remaining things you can add on here. And participe zwei. Participe zwei means the perfect form of the verb will be at the end of sentence, and the conjugation will be with haben or sein only. So now, and you know that if you want to make yes and no question, in the yes and no question, haben and sein conjugation will come at the first position, then after that immediately subject, then object, remaining things or whatever, and participe zwei will be at the end of sentence with question mark also. And in the W question also, W question will come here, and then haben or sein conjugation, and then subject, object, and participes y will be still at the end of sentence with question mark. So how we will make the sentences? Ich habe meine Hausaufgabe. Ich habe meine Hausaufgabe gemacht. I have done my homework. So because you know that there is no movement in the verb, so haben is conjugated and participes y is at the end of sentence. If we use a verb that is having movement, ich bin gestern nach Mumbai gefahren. I drove yesterday to Mumbai because of the movement. Because we are driving from one place to another place, so that's why here sein conjugation. House of Gabe bedeutet homework. Yeah, that can be also. And you know that if we are making yes and no question, then haben or sein conjugation will come at the first position. So how? Hast du. Hast du the Hausaufgabe gemacht? But gemacht is at the end of sentence. So hast du the Hausaufgabe gemacht? Or you can say wohin. For the moment one, wohin bist du? Because moment. So wohin bist du gestern gefahren? Gefahren means to draw. So wohin bist du gestern gefahren? Where have you drove yesterday? Okay, so in this way you can see participes y, participes y, participes y, participes y. It doesn't matter. These sentences are related to a question, related to normal sentence, or whatever, yes or no question, W question, or normal sentence. Although participes y is coming at the end of sentence. Always remember, in modal verb also main verb will be at the end of sentence. It doesn't matter, it is related to yes and no question, W question, or normal sentence also. And in participes y also, the conjugate this participes y form will be at the end of sentence. Now we will see some kind of doubts, like students make mistakes when they are making sentences. In the sentence making, always remember we are having two helping verbs in the present, sein and haben. Sein means is rm, so ich bin and ich habe. Du bist and du hast. For the formal you, sie sind, and here the entire verb haben. Ihr seid. What will come? Seid. Ihr seid, and here it will be ihr habt. For the third person, er, z or s, it will be only ist. And here it will be hat. For the plural subject, it will be sind, and here it will be haben. And what is the meaning of sein? It is rm, like in English. And what is the meaning of haben? It is has and have, in the present only. But we are having past also of these helping verbs. So this is waren. Waren is related to was, were, and hatten is related to had. Had. In the past, had. And waren is was, were. So how we will do the verb conjugation? For the ish, it will be var, because a regular conjugation. There is no e ending. Ish var and ish hatte. Du warst and du hattest. Next one, for the plural, waren. For the plural and for the formal you and plural, it will be exactly same. Waren and hatten. Next one, here wart, same ending t, and here hattet. Yes. Next one for the third person war, and for the third person here hatte. Irregular conjugation. And here it will be waren, waren and hatten. Waren and hatten. Okay, so now if we make sentences with this, so most of the time these helping verbs are used for the places and for explanation. So you can say ish bin in Mumbai. So it means you are right now in Mumbai. And if you want to say I have a dog, so ich habe einen Hund. Okay, but if you want to say I was in Mumbai, so what you will say? Ich war in Mumbai. And if you want to say I had a dog, I had a dog. So what you will say? Ich hatte einen Hund. Okay, so because of this conjugation, it is in present. Because of this, it is in the past, and this, oh, sorry, this is also in the present, but it also belongs to the belongings. It talks about belongings, and this is in the past helping verb, and this is also in past related to belongings in the past. What you had in the past. So these are helping verbs in German. Now more. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, रिकॉर्ड सारा वीडियो भेजूंगा मैं आपको. नेक्स्ट के अंदर सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर्स. तो हाउ वी विल मेक द सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर्स. नहीं नहीं, ये तो एडवांस है, एडवांस है, आप तो बस देखते रहो, कुछ दिखे नहीं. घटा दो. In the sentence structure we have made here with helping verb. Ish been in Mumbai. And the past of it, ish war in Mumbai. The present is ish habe einen Hund. And in the past, ish hatte einen Hund. If we make the sentence with the main verb, then verb conjugation is normal. Ich komme. E ending aus Indian. I come from India. And if you want to make the yes and no question, then main verb will come at the first position. Kommst du aus Indian and the question mark. And if there is W question word, then W question word will come at the first position. Woher kommst du and the question mark. After that, trennbare Verben. Kommst du morgen an? Uncommon means to arrive. Will you come? Will you arrive tomorrow? And after that, the modal verbs. Modal verb ich kann gut schwimmen. This is normal sentence with the modal verb. So modal verb is conjugated and main verb is at the end of sentence. And here you can see modal verb can come first position if we are making the yes and no question. Kannst du gut schwimmen? So kannst du gut schwimmen? This is question, but still modal verb came to the first position, but main verb is still at the end of sentence. If we make the W question, wann kannst du schwimmen? When can you swim? So here also when is the question word, but still main verb is at the end of sentence. If we make the sentence with train bar verb, in the train bar modal verb with modal verb, wann kannst du, uncommon. So always remember when you are making sentences with the train bar verb and modal verb also, then in the train bar verb you don't need to separate the prefix. Main verb will be always at the end of sentence. It does not matter it is related to train bar verb or it is related to normal verb. After that, haben or sein. It is past. Yeah. Can't do Morgan. Comps do Morgan and this is train bar ना only train bar. वो तो सिर्फ ट्रेन बार है यहाँ मॉडल वर्ब है सो इफ व्हेन वी आर यूजिंग सिंगल train bar verb then only we have to put the prefix at the end if it is coming with our model verb and with our perfect tense also then it will go at the end of sentence. Next one perfect. Ich habe meine Hausaufgabe gemacht. This is without movement. Okay, gemacht is at the end of sentence. So ich habe meine Hausaufgabe gemacht. With movement it will come. Ich bin nach Mumbai gefahren. I drove to Mumbai. So here this is the movement. That's why we have used here the conjugation of sein. But you know that we can make sentences with uh, train bar verb also. Uncommon is to arrive, and this is perfect now. Uncommon is arrive, and this is a train bar verb. So how we will make? In the arriving, there is definitely 100% movement. So ich bin gestern in Mumbai angekommen. So always remember whenever you are using train bar verb, whenever you are using train bar verb in the perfect form, then the prefix in between of prefix and verb, ge will be here only in the middle of prefix and main verb. So all these kind of sentences, and now we are making the question also. We are now रुक जाओ अभी तो ये पूरा वीडियो बन रहा है ना सो नेक्स्ट वन with the perfect form has to do and if we are making the question with perfect in German then also the participle zwei form of the verb will be at the end of sentence. So hast du deine Hausaufgabe gemacht? Have you done your homework? So still you can see here the participle zwei form of the verb is at the end of sentence even though it is yes and no question. Next one, one is a question word. So one has to do deine Hausaufgabe gemacht. So as you can see here in the W question word also participle zwei form of the sentence or participle zwei form of the verb is at the end of sentence. So what you learned here that if you are making participle zwei Sätze, it means perfect sentences, then always participle zwei form of the verb will be at the end of sentence. Here you can see gemacht, gefahren, angekommen. This is train bar. Here this is yes and no question. This is here W question. So all of the time participle zwei form of the verb will be at the end of sentence. If you are making sentences with the modal verb, then also main verb will be at the end of sentence. You have to always take care of all these things while making sentences and while writing sentences. In the modal verb you can see this is main verb normal sentence. This is yes or no question main verb at the end of sentence. This is W question word main verb at the end of sentence. This is train bar verb and W question also although the main verb is at the end of sentence. So all these kind of sentences you see in your basic German grammar. Rather than these sentences, you don't see specific sentences in German. Always remember one more and very important thing in German. When you are making normal sentences, then verb position will be always second. I'm not talking about the yes and no question or kind of W questions. Basic sentences I'm talking about. Always remember at the first position you have to start with the subject, verb and object. But the thing is that sometimes you can start with time related or the other information also, and verb will be still at the second position, and subject will come here, and object will go at the end of sentence. How? If I'm saying Ish, comma, Morgan, so that is also correct. But you know that all the time if you are using the same kind of words, then it is not good. You are starting all the sentences with ish. So you can put a Morgan at the starting position also. Morgan, comma, ish, un. So Anam, so here Morgan is coming at the first position and subject gone to third position. So here you can see e ending according to ish and according to ish. So there is no changes in the verb conjugation. Exactly same conjugation is there. Only the time related word Morgan came to the first position. So in this way you can use. One more important thing I'm adding here, and that is time related words or some words that can come at first position. Which words? And you know that some good prepositions also we have to take care of when it comes about time. So in German language, if you are talking about weekdays, then which preposition? Am. Am Montag, am Dienstag, am Mittwoch, am Donnerstag, and for the weekend also am Wochenende. And if we are adding the date also, then also we will use 11 Januar. 11 Januar. If we are talking about seasons and months, then we will use im preposition like im Sommer, im Winter, है ना? Im Januar, im Februar. If we are talking about a particular timing, then we have to use 9 Uhr, 8 o'clock. Like in English, you use 8 o'clock. So 9 Uhr, 10 Uhr, 12 Uhr, 8 Uhr, है ना? If you are talking about a particular time period, a specific time period, then you can use von and bis. Von Montag bis Freitag, है ना? Von Januar bis Februar, von 9 bis 12 Uhr, from 9 to 12 o'clock. After that, if you are talking about a particular time period in the German, like since, you will use seit Januar, seit Januar, seit Februar, seit März, seit meiner Kindheit, since my childhood. So in this way, all these time related words will help you. Bis means till, bis 9 Uhr, bis 12 Uhr, bis Januar, bis Februar, till. है ना? Of all these. So these are related to time. More time related words can be, you can use all these time related words at the starting. How? Im nächsten Jahr. Im nächsten Jahr means in the next year. Im nächsten Monat. Im nächsten März. In the next March. So in this way you can start the sentence and you can add on the verb. Im nächsten Jahr fahre ich nach Mumbai. So in this way, your sentences will be more effective. Subject is here. You can put subject at these places also. It can be replaced. But you know that this also gives the good impact. Like if you are making sentences in different ways. More words you can add on. Manchmal. Manchmal means sometimes. Oft means often. Immer means always. Okay, nie means never. So these sentences also you can add on. Manchmal ich spiele ich Fußball. So these will also give a good sense. Manchmal ich spiele ich Fußball. Oft ich spiele ich Fußball. Immer ich spiele ich Fußball. Nie ich spiele ich Fußball. Never, always, oft, often, and sometimes also. So in this way you can add on the time related words at the, yeah, so sometimes you can add on the time related words also at first position. Some past related words will also help you. Gestern. Gestern means yesterday. Im letzten. Im letzten Jahr. Im letzten Monat. Okay, so these are im letzten März. Last. Im letzten Jahr in the last year. Im letzten Monat in the last month. Im letzten März in the last March. You can add on im letzten Jahr habe ich eine Reise, a journey, eine Reise nach Shimla gemacht. So these sentences will also give you good impression. So im letzten Jahr habe ich eine Reise mit meinen Freunden nach Shimla gemacht. है ना? So these sentences, Sean is also related to past. Sean means already. Gestern means yesterday, and vorgestern means day before yesterday. You can also use in there. Letzten Woche. It means in the last week. So you know that with the help of all these things, with the help of all these kind of sentences, you can make the sentences. Okay, so all these things we have covered in today's video related to the grammar, related to the all of the things we have covered related to A1 basic beginners kind of things.